For trial.
Are the people ready to make opening arguments?
We are, Your Honor.
I don't have my lawyer here.
It's not your turn to speak.
My trial's begun without my lawyer.
Please sit. Mr. Schultz.
All.
Excuse me.
Yes?
May I speak?
No, sir.
He just said my name.
You're a defendant in this case. You're likely to hear your name.
I have a right to counsel, and His Honor knows that.
Don't tell the court what it does and does not know. Be seated. Mr. Schultz. Mr. Counselor.
I object to being characterized as a member of this group.
Who's your lawyer?
Charles R. Gary.
Is Mr. Gary here today?
No, he is not.
Your Honor. Are you representing Mr. Seal?
No, sir.
Then sit. Mr. Schultz, forgive me.
Have you concluded your opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
My lawyer, Charles Gary, is in a hospital in Oakland having undergone gallbladder surgery.
Mr. Counselor, you are sitting right next to the man just represented. It's the same case.
The fact that there's a lawyer near Mr. Seal does not satisfy the requirements of due process.
I have a right.
A motion was made for postponement due to Mr. Gary's medical condition. I was there. Your Honor denied that motion. Therefore, Mr. Seal is here without legal representation.
I don't care for your general tone, Mr. Counselor.
I meant no disrespect to the court. I'm trying to be clear that I can't muddy Mr. Seal's grounds for appeal by appearing to speak as his lawyer.
I don't ask you to compromise Mr. Seal's position, sir, but I will not permit him to address the jury when his perfectly competent lawyer is
For the
sitting...
fourth time, he's not Bobby's lawyer.
You're, Mr. Rubin.
Yes, sir.
Don't ever do that again.
Your Honor, I'm not with these guys. I never even met most of them until the indictment.
We will have order.
There are 8 of us here, and they have signs up and free the Chicago 7. I'm not with them.
Mr. Marshall,
You're saying it's a conspiracy. I
will
never
you
even met
seat
most of them
Mr.
until the
Seal?
indictment. And speaking frankly, the U.S. attorney wanted a Negro defendant to scare the jury. I was thrown in to make the group look scarier. I came to Chicago. I made a speech.
Mr.
I had
Seal.
chicken pot pie. Went to the airport and I flew back to Oakland. And that's why they call it the Chicago. Get your hands off me.
Charge Mr. Seal with 1 count of contempt of court.
I have a motion I'd like to bring forward to the court.
You wish to address the court, Mr. Seal?
Yes, I have a motion.
I will hear you, Mr. Seal.
Just a moment.
Mr. Seal, do you have a motion?
I, Bobby G. Seal, have a motion pro se to defend myself. I'd like to invoke the precedent of Adams versus U.S. ex rel McCann, where the Supreme Court...
All right, that's enough. Where are you learning these things? Does your young friend, Mr. Hampton, have a background in law?
Your Honor, the other defendants would like to join in Mr. Seal's motion.
Are you now speaking on behalf of Mr. Seal?
No, Your Honor, I'm speaking on behalf of the other defendants.
You're standing right next to him. Why don't you just represent him?
Because I'm not his lawyer, sir. If I understand Mr. Seal this last month and a half, and I believe I have, he is not represented by counsel.
Overruled.
I am being denied right
Mr.
now
Seal,
my constitutional
will you be
right
quiet?
for
Will
legal
you?
representation.
Will you be quiet? You have lawyers to speak for you.
No, he doesn't!
Cite Mr. Counselor with his second count of contempt.
All rise. Thank you, sir.
Last warning.
Did you recognize him? I heard Jerry Rubin give a speech, so off saying, and then Bobby Seal.
I object to this man's testimony against me because I have been denied counsel.
We understand.
Do you recall any of Mr. Seal's speech?
Yes. He
I
said that...
object to this man's testimony.
Quiet!
Go ahead.
May I refer to notes?
Yes.
He said we must understand that as we go forth to try to move the reprobate politicians,
Your Honor.
our cowardly Congress, the jive, double-lip talking
John,
Nixon.
Double lip talking Nixon. You make me sound like one funky cat. Thank you, sir.
Last warning, Mr. Seal.
Did he say anything else?
He said the revolution at this time is directly connected to organized guns and force.
No more questions?
John, double lip talking. Funky cat.
Would the defense like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes. I'm sitting here saying that I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Only lawyers can address a
My
witness.
lawyer is Charles Gary.
I'm tired of hearing that.
Couldn't care less what you're tired of.
What did you say?
I said it would be impossible for me to care any less what you are tired of, and I demand to cross-examine the witness.
Sit in your chair and be quiet, and don't ever address this court in that manner again.
Are there any further questions? We'll stand in recess for 1 hour and court will resume at 1:30.
Premeditated murder! Yes, Lord! Fred Hampton was assassinated last night!
Marshals, put Mr. Seal.
He would have been able to own a gun in his hand. When they publish the coroner's report, make sure you ask about the bullet wounds in his shoulder!
I strongly caution you, Mr. Seal. I strongly caution.
Oh, strongly fuck yourself!
Marshals, take that defendant into a room and deal with him as he should be dealt with. Let the record show that I tried, fairly and impartially. I tried to get the defendant to sit on his own. I ask you again, Mr. Seal, and you may indicate by raising your head up and down, or moving it from side to side, if I have your assurance that you will not do anything to disrupt this trial if I allow you to resume proper order. Do I have your assurance? Mr. Schultz, call your next witness. Mr. Schultz?
Your Honor, may we approach? Your Honor, our defendant is gagged and bound in an American courtroom.
He brought it on himself.
Are you insane?
Mr. Kunstler. Love of God. What do you want, Mr. Schultz? This is your sidebar.
Your Honor, at this time, the government would like to make a motion that Bobby Seale be separated from the rest of the... Yes, sir, please. A motion that Bobby Seale be separated from the rest of the defendants and this case be declared a mistrial.
You want me to give him his mistrial?
Of course, because you took that black guy and you made him a sympathetic character.
Mr. Kunstler, I have lived a very long time, sir, and you're the first person ever to suggest that I have discriminated against a black man.
Then let the record show that I'm the second.
During a mistrial, I said the defendant, Bobby G. Seale.